Hi Martina and the fellow team members of BioDIVA project and the fellow speakers. Though I wanted to come over here physically and make this presentation in live, but I am not able to do that because of mainly the reason of the Iceland volcanic clouds. Nevertheless, I am trying to make the presentation through this video program. So next 15 to 20 minutes, what I am trying to do is I will speak about a particular case study which we have done in India in Wayanad district of Kerala. So what I am presenting today is about a case study on rice ecosystem, and this study is titled as Genetic Erosion and Degradation of Ecosystem Services, and this study has been done in the Western Ghats part of India. And let me first set the context of this study. All of you must be knowing about the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment. So one of the major findings of this Millennium Ecosystem Assessment is they said the major goals of Millennium Development Goals like poverty reduction, hunger and disease, etc. cannot be achieved without improving the ecosystem's management. So the ecosystem management is very important for achieving the Millennium Development Goals. And how do we achieve the Millennium Development Goals, or how do we improve our ecosystem? So they found out there are three levels of promising responses. One is at the technology level, the other is at the social and behavioral level, and third is the knowledge level. At the technology level, the restoration of ecosystem services and the promotion of technologies that enable increased crop yields without harmful impacts. And you can see in the social and behavioral responses, changing consumption patterns, changing the communication and education pattern, and empowering the stakeholder groups who are dependent on ecosystem services. And in the knowledge domain, it is more important is the incorporation of non-market values of ecosystem in resource management decisions, and also the enhancement of human and institutional capacity. I think the BioDIVA project, in fact, it is on this particular domain, and our case study, the case study which I am presenting is also largely in the knowledge domain. This study, as I told you, has been done in the Western Ghats, and Western Ghats is a global biodiversity hotspot. And you can see from the slide, though it is a small area compared to the land size of India, but more than 30% of biodiversity of India is present in this region. So the rice field which I am presenting is the rice fields of the Ghat region, not the rice fields of the coastal region. So the rice fields of the Ghat regions are more important, ecologically more important than the rice fields of the coastal region. So these are some of the pictures about the diversity present in the landscapes which the local communities depend. You can see enormous diversity of yams, enormous diversity of wild yams. See the underground tubers and the yams form a major source of food for the local people, particularly the local poor people. So they depend the ecosystems for their food security. And also if you see the greenery here, the wild edible greens, the number of edible greens. One of our studies shows one particular community called Pania, they consume over 80 different species of wild edible greens. So the ecosystem, particularly the wild habitat, used very effectively for. And you can see the enormous diversity of mushrooms. So the mushrooms in cultivation are largely 2 or 3 species, but here in Wayanad district over 40 different wild mushrooms are being consumed by the local community. So this diversity contributing to their nutritional security and food security. And not only for them, it is for their livestock as well. Large number of wild fodder grasses and sedges present in the wild are collected by the local communities. Particularly the rice fields. So the rice fields now provide not only rice, enormous number of the rice field. And also like the non-wood forest producers, number of non-wood forest producers that contributing to the of the local communities. Coming to the rice ecosystem, you can see the cultivated rice here. Wayanad, in fact, that name derived from two words, Vayal Nadu. Vayal refers to rice field and Nadu is village or town. So this is in fact was land of not only the forest but land of paddy fields. So if you look at the rice ecosystem, one can see three levels, one can see three dimensions of the rice ecosystem. One is the biophysical dimension, the other is the socio-economic dimension, and the third is the external dimension or the state level dimension or the institutional level dimension. So in the biophysical boundary where the ecosystem, the biophysical aspects, largely the biophysical aspects were studied, the socio-economic parts were studied separately, and how the external system operates studied separately. But so far in this part of Kerala or in this part of India, there is no integrated study where all these three dimensions are combined together. So this case study, in fact, we tried to give this dimension, an integrated approach. And moreover, this BioDIVA project which we are aiming, that will be largely, the methodology will be largely the integrated approach where these three aspects will be studied. And how this rice field is important in terms of the ecosystem services. And this finding is based on long time observation, not only these 2 years of case study. As I told you, we are here for last 12 to 13 years. So we could conclude that the rice ecosystem is contributing to all those 4 services which the Millennium Assessment have found. The provisioning services you can see, from fresh water to paddy straw to their livestock, as well as for thatching their houses, and regulating services like the local climate regulation and erosion regulation. So paddy fields, a good paddy field controls flood as well as controls drought. It stores water and it controls the water flow. So the regulating services in a greater way, and more importantly the cultural aspect. I would say in Kerala the rice system is the part and parcel. It was the part and parcel of the culture of people of here, the spiritual and religious value, the aesthetic values in a greater way. And if you look at the support services, the soil and nutrient building, and more importantly the biodiversity.